Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Titan Souls. So, last time we walked up to a door and it didn't open for us, so I guess we'll just have to go explore the world. It's actually a pretty big world. A lot of people describe this game as nothing but a boss rush, and there's certainly some truth to that. I did mean it when I said the only real challenge is the boss fights with the Titans, but I actually think there's a really nice zen to just walking around the world, enjoying the music. They clearly put a lot of effort into all of the little touches that you can find in this place. So, while I could run all along here, I'm actually just gonna kind of walk around, enjoy the sights. Maybe run into some of those Titans we're gonna need to kill. Like right in here. These things, make sure you step on them because they'll teleport you to the last one you stepped on before you died. Looks like there's two bosses in here, and this seems to be the way that at least one of them's pointing me. Of course, the path splits, and oh, okay. So, we got a bit of a Lost Woods thing going here, and pretty sure this place is actually called the Lost Woods, because indie games. And while those paths don't quite lead anywhere, I think the tell that we're really looking for is these mushrooms here. And they do in fact lead us to a new area. So, using that logic, we can kind of just extrapolate, given the preponderance of mushrooms here. Wonder if this is trying to tell us something. Yes. Yes, it is. Well, let's get this started. Yeah, there we go. Ow. This is a very busy fight, let's say. It's a giant mushroom. It's the large poison spores that it shoots out every time it jumps will kill you. It will, of course, crush you, which it tries to do pretty much throughout the whole fight. So, we're gonna have to find a way to shoot that crystal. One of the things that you often have to be careful of is just not paying attention to where your character is standing. Because sometimes you will just get bopped. Just like that. Rather unfortunately. Remember, like I said last time, the first key is just staying alive. The longer a fight goes, the more likely you are to understand. You kind of have to approach this as you're going to die, but you're going to learn how these things act. Like, you know, sometimes you'll just make the wrong move and they'll just jump right on you. I'm also going to start skipping the walk back, but that's more for your convenience. I actually really like that they kept the walk in. I'll go into that a bit more later. Alright, let's... Ooh. Wow. So yeah, when I said this fight gets busy, it gets really visually busy. And it can make it extremely hard for you to avoid all of the things that are flying around. If you huff too many of the spores, your vision goes super crazy. So you kind of have to be careful of that. Let's see. It's pretty great though, honestly. Like, in some ways this fight is really best experienced high as fuck. As long as you know to avoid the large spores. Ugh. It's really all about picking your spot when it comes down to it. As you can see, I'm not exactly doing very well on that. I tried to get the jump on him there, but you can't really be too eager about these things. Maybe this time we'll do it. Some fights will just tend to be more long and drawn out. Other fights, either you'll kill them or they'll kill you. It can be very tough to figure out what the best way to do things is. Sometimes you just gotta hit them as early as possible because they'll still be stuck in a single loop. But alright, let's try this for real. I swear I can do this. I'm not sure if the fight actually slows down when you do that. It kind of seems to. Maybe it's just me. You gotta try to get shots in when you have the chance, mostly because he spins literally every single time that he jumps. And sometimes you just won't be facing him and you'll have to run away like that. And I'm actually pretty surprised. Other times you'll be able to position yourself in just the perfect spot. Let's see. Here we go. He only moves in 8 directions, so if you can get yourself just that slight bit above him, and you know that he's going to be turning a certain way, it becomes like almost a chess game, I guess, where you just need to be in the one perfect position, and you're planning several moves ahead, and it's a very interesting fight. It can be kind of frustrating, and I may have cut out a few of the tries that I took for this. Anyway, it's back to a regular dead mushroom? Yeah. Whatever. We win. We're the best. It's one down, and the other one seems to be hinting that it's this way, but if that's the case, I'd actually rather go down the path that it says there isn't a Titan. Nice little lake here. If the last path was any indication, the correct way to go is the way that has some sort of indicator. So while we could go up or even down at this point, it seems pretty obvious that this is leading us somewhere to a slab. Seems to have a meteor and a flower. And the flower and the meteor have merged. I wonder if this is hinting at anything, perhaps. Probably not. Let's go find that other boss. Every area actually has those murals. The game's story is very interpreted, let's say. It doesn't go around and tell you things, and honestly, I'm pretty sure I haven't found all of the little hints, but there is a coherent story in here. It's just kind of very... It lets you find it, rather. Also, we're almost out of directions here, so... Well, there's one we haven't tried. Yep, the old backwards trick. You had to know it was coming. And up this way, we've got the sun. Praise it. Let's see what's in here. I'll be doing my best to show off all those murals, because they may warn us of things like this. I think we found our meteor tree, meteor plant, whatever the hell I just called it. I can't remember anything I've said in the last 5 minutes. Alright. So, this tough puppy has a few tricks up his sleeve. There's obviously that poison cloud chasing us. Those vines look like they hurt, but we can also shoot them off to give ourselves a little breathing room. You'll want to be careful, though, because they're still very active and very sharp. That said, shooting that vine didn't really seem to do much to it, so I think we're going to have to go for that mouth thing. Oh, there's another one. Let's see if we can't get... Ah, damn it. Try not to stay in the poison too long. These fights can, again, be very busy, which actually is sort of why they give you the time to walk back. Like, some people would probably rather have the ability to reset, but I really like that it makes you walk back from the nearest teleporter over, because in the, 10 to 20 seconds it takes, and sometimes longer, but in that time, you have the ability to strategize. You're all you're going to be thinking of is this strange creature that you just found, you have to, like, it's a very necessary game design element to give the player just some time to rest, even if it's during a salty run back. Alright, let's see if I can test my mouth theory, if I can ever shoot anything he has. Jeez. There we go. Oh, let's not get poisoned while we try to... Ah, there we go. Alright, it's not quite over yet. As we get further into the game, Titans get quite a bit more complicated. These two in the Lost Woods are actually pretty difficult as far as things go. I'd say Obello's tougher, but that's probably just because of my playstyle as a whole. Kind of just more suited to this sort of thing. Other people are much happier with the run and gun, single phase. If I can make that one shot, it'll be perfect. I, on the other hand, am having a bit of trouble stringing together these two shots, but I still like it a lot. When you open up his pedal, he actually does like a quarter turn, 3/4 of a turn. So what I like to do is run back around him counterclockwise and try to get a good shot in. Unfortunately, I'm not always a very good shot when under pressure, and ow. Very sharp. Very, very sharp. So, you know, you take on the boss a second time. You gotta walk back, and it's kind of like, but this whole time that you're doing this, you're like, okay, maybe I can attack him like this, or maybe I should try, you know, something a little different, or... You need all that, because as soon as you shoot this thing, you are concentrating on surviving, you are concentrating on getting into position. You really don't have time to strategize here. Although, there are mitigating factors. Certainly in a fight like this, if you shoot his tentacles short enough, all you have to do is avoid the poison clouds. Which is a viable strategy. Other people just go straight for the mouth. Which you can, by the way, only shoot in when he's sucking in air to blow out another poison bubble at you. Ugh, that was a little close for comfort. Ah, damn. Sometimes he will snipe you like that. I believe those tentacles have some level of tracking, but what do I know? Ugh. The poison cloud is really a nice touch, because it's what gives this fight its sense of urgency. Like, in Obello's case, the thing that forces you to think quickly is just the large mushroom that's going to crush you if you're not always moving. In this one, if not for that poison cloud that will stop you if you aren't moving, you'd actually just be able to, you know, pick a little corner and sit in it. The vines actually have only very specific places where they really can hit you. So I do like, everything about these encounters is thought out so well. The poison clouds are actually on a timer, and if you can interrupt him from throwing out another one, you can kind of actually give yourself a little breather from the poison, pun intended. So it's a pretty nice touch. These encounters are all very, very thought out. Which is one aspect I really like about the boss rush kind of thing. Come on, let's see if I can't get around him this time. No, I can't. Not at all. Alright. It's also, you can kind of tell that I'm trying, like, do I shoot the vines? Do I not shoot the vines? You actually, in a lot of these, especially if you're playing without a guide and don't really know what you're doing, we'll have to try different strategies and be like, okay, this got me a little closer to killing him, but this one didn't. So, again, the walk back is time to plan for, alright, I'm gonna try this time, and maybe this time it'll actually work. And it doesn't always get into that. Like it doesn't always work like that, because sometimes you know exactly what to do and you just can't quite do it. No, that's when this game gets really frustrating, but I'm entirely unsure of how I missed him there, but okay. There There we go. Alright, I've bought myself a lot of breathing room by shooting the tentacles here, so this is really the best way to do this, quote-unquote. Everyone will have different ways of doing this, which is sort of the great thing about this game. Alright, let's see if I can't get just one perfect shot. Ah, and a beautiful blooming flower. Not too shabby. Or maybe not. I actually did show all the attempts on that one since it was relatively short. Also, yeah, pretty much everything's dead here. Even the vines won't kill us anymore. Nicely done, I guess? Yeah. Hey, we beat the Lost Woods, so how bad could it be? I will see you guys next time for whatever else we might find in this world. Maybe we'll just wander around, listen to the music a little. Bye-bye.